I think a lot of times there are a lot of people who are not lazy, who really want to succeed at something, and they have this idea of what they want, but they don't even try to do the work. Not because they are lazy, it's because they honestly they don't believe that they are that special person. Welcome to solo episode with my foil, Shawnee Suissa. You know, we were talking about this before we started, about this idea that we always underestimate our abilities and overestimate the abilities of the people that we put on pedestals as, oh, wow, they were able to do this or that because of whatever reason, right? And I think that part of what we do is we limit ourselves to what our actual potential is, because that is the mindset that we have so ingrained in our body that, like, it can't be us, but it could be someone else. And to me, that is why my entire philosophy is I kind of turn that whole philosophy on its head, and I always go to everything with this idea of why not me? You know, like, why not me? You know, I feel like that has made me, honestly, not to sound braggadocious, because that's not what this purpose is, but it's made me kind of unstoppable, because I've switched the idea from, well, it would never happen to me, to, well, why not me? And once you do that, then you become unstoppable, because you don't let things stand in your way, and you don't count yourself out and put other people on a pedestal that's usually a lot of times not even deserved. The only difference between somebody else and you is that they tried and they never gave up and they believed in themselves. And this is not one of these like self-help, you know, rah, you're amazing type of episodes. It's not. It really is, like, really not, because that's not really what I'm about. I'm about hard work, grit, you know, attempting over and over again. But I really feel like over time, from all the people I've spoken to and interviewed, the only difference separating them from somebody else was that they just honestly they believed in themselves, and they just didn't give up, and they just went for it regardless of what they had going for them. Like, you have to be kind of like, you got to kind of have that mentality. And I just want to really kind of talk about this idea of, like, why do we do that to ourselves? Like, why, instead of us being our own best advocate or our own best, you know, promoter, we feel like, I think that, like, part of it is that we tend to think that that's frowned upon, that that's braggadocious, like I said earlier about me, or that it's egotistical, or is it really the fact that we just truly in our heart of hearts just have so much self-doubt that we just can't get out of our own ways? Boy, you're brilliant.
Well, I just think that I don't know that I experience this as much of, I don't know that I underestimate myself. I think I overestimate myself sometimes. I don't know that
Okay, but I'm not saying you. Okay, this is not about you. It's about in general. I feel like we've had a whole episode we've done on people who are confidence. Like, what's the fine line between being confident and being, you know, like an egomaniac? So that's not what this is.
No, I know. I just feel like,
okay, let me just say again, this is not to you. Okay. This is more to that person listening who, you know, really idolizes or puts certain people on this pedestal, like even in social media, like, wow, look what they've accomplished. Look what they can do. And quite honestly, like, if they just if they did the work, if they truly, like, had the desire and interest and grit to actually do the work that other person that they put on that pedestal did, there's no saying that they couldn't have got to that same place. That's my point. My point is, people need to stop counting themselves out before even attempting to do whatever that thing is that they want to accomplish.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. As in, give yourself the chance. Like, don't just, like, assume that you wouldn't be good or be able to get there.
It's about not only giving yourself the chance, it's about changing your perspective on what it really takes.
I think that's why people underestimate themselves, because they know that it would take a lot of work and they don't want to do that work, or they feel like it would be just too much.
I think a lot of people kid themselves.
Right.
I think the work part that's maybe one element. I think a lot of times people are inherently sometimes lazy, and so they just don't want to do the work. 100%.
You were like, they think it's easier, and then when they get to doing the work and they realize how hard it is, they're like, whoa, I can't actually handle this.
That's different. I think see, to me, that's something totally different. It's like, at least then you don't want to do the work. That doesn't mean that you don't think you can attempt it or do it. It's just that you just don't want to do it.
No. What I'm saying is that I think because things take a lot of work, they therefore underestimate the fact that they can do it without even trying. Do you know what I mean?
Right. But
as in, it's like a daunting task.
Yeah, but I don't think this is not what it's about. This is not about being a daunting task. That's about you become overwhelmed with what it does take, so you just count yourself out. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about these. I think a lot of times there are a lot of people who are not lazy, who really want to succeed at something, and they have this idea of what they want, but they don't even try to do the work. Not because they are lazy. It's because they honestly they don't believe that they are that special person. Like, it's like this ideology that you have to be special to achieve X, Y, or Z. And what I'm saying is, I don't believe that has anything to do with being special at all. It just has to do with the mindset or perspective of that individual thinking that they are special. That then makes them special. Does that make sense? Like, you think that you're special, and then you make yourself special, versus this idea of like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not special, I'm not good enough. It's for that person. It's like turning that idea on its head and understanding that the only reason why that person became special is because they thought they were special in the first place. And you have to really come to something and really, target and go for something with this idea and with this veracity of why not me? I enter everything I do with this why not me mentality. If it can happen to that person, it can happen to me. If that person can do it, I can do it. And the only reason why that was able to now become so ingrained in my neuroplasticity is because I've been saying it and doing it over and over and over again. And now it's just who I am. And I feel like if someone just starts today, it's never too late. You can do it today. You could do it tomorrow. You're not an old dog that can't learn new tricks. All it takes is you making the choice and the decision that you are going to start thinking differently and just wake up every day with the idea of why not me? And I believe really wholeheartedly, if you start with the why not me approach, mentality, ideology, you will see your life shifting and changing in ways that you never even knew existed. And, I really in my heart believe that to be true.